muscle. Ask me about my life, man, I love it, I love it. Got so many rings, I need room for another one. Been through the pain, now it ain't no more struggle. My team win the game, put our face on the cover, brother, we the champions.
Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Hubbard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense. Good job there. Pretty simple. The hole was created. Runner just darted right through.
Yeah, that's the kind of play teams are looking for to have some success early in a ball game. And if you're an offensive play caller, you mark that run down. Make sure you keep coming back to it throughout the game until they stop it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll go again here with Hubbard. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a give. It's Hubbard going left. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring out 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's a run by Hubbard. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of 1st downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On the handoff, running left is Hubbard. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. It's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And some space here. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, They come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. No gain there, and it's going to set up a 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. Hubbard will take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Well, Charles, clearly they wanted to send a message there and impose their will. They score on their opening possession on a drive comprised entirely of rushing the football.
Message sent. I don't know that the team on the other side of the field wanted to receive it, but what a statement on their opening drive. Just run it all the way downfield, no passes. That absolutely sets the tone that they're going to be physical in this game.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Chad Muma, and the Packers are going to take possession of the football. So Charles already down 7-0 early. They opt to take a shot there on the first play of scrimmage, but that plan backfires.
That feels a little bit like last week's loss lingering into this game, doesn't it? You know, you're down 7 already. You lost last week. It's almost like they were trying to get it all back in one shot, trying to take a big chunk play right out of the gate.
And room there to work it inside the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Murray. Eluding the pressure right. Touchdown! A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are off to a 13-0 first-quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Packers 14, Lions nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute. But did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there's never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
His first catch, good for 16 and a first. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Right back to Hubbard. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 80 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And now Murray's going to set up to throw. Flush to his right. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Throwing now is Murray. And that will be incomplete.
I feel like my man momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And this one is right through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll drop to throw. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Nice job. Nice patience right there. Put him on the right side. Let him work his way across. Put the ball in his hands and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
After one, 17-7 is our score.
Packers 17, Lions 7.
Come on. 19 tights. 19 tights.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking left sideline. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. And between the last two plays, they moved it over half the length of the football field.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
His pass caught at the 4. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, They just decided to take the 3, and I think it's a smart move.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. It'll be a gain of 5. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And Murray with a smart move there at the end of the play. Picks up the first down and then slides to the ground. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the counter, this is Hubbard. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now Murray off play action. Checks this down to Hubbard. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Murray going to throw. Flushed out right. Taking a shot here for Marshall. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there that takes away what could have been a touchdown.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage. And we're still in the second quarter.
Second down, another chance for Hubbard. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Murray now. This will be caught at about the 6. And it's a Packers touchdown from 10 yards out. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now up to 14.
Packers 24, Lions 10.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
It's complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking for Campbell downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
On the 6. Warrior 70. Dragon 60.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
They'll look to throw again. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And, Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, check that. Street.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 108 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll look to throw.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
60 average. Trap 60.
He'll look to throw. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he is
He's going to have the Lions first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Isaiah Oliver with the INT.
And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Working with a 2nd and 4. A give up the middle, Hubbard.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Murray now on 1st down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Go on, Hurt.
On the give, this is Hubbard.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Straight ahead with Hubbard.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. And his his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
70 Rangers.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. So 2nd and 10 now here in the 3rd quarter from Detroit.
7 Pirates. 7 Pirates.
They're going to look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Broncos. 60 Bobcats. 60 Bobcats.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw.
Throw over the middle, caught by Jordan. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they wind up with a gain of 11 there on 4th down.
Give them 11 on the gain there. And the Lions are going to have a first.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Back to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
13 yards, first down, Packers. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
On the handoff, it's Hubbard.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
Chuba Hubbard with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Back to throw here. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap 1.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there for Detroit. 55 yards.
And that looked almost to be a case of, quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal?
Back in 60. Comeback team. Comeback team. Pioneer.
Now back to throw. Being chased out left. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. From 3 yards out. And the Lions get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead's down to 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
I bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
They'll run for it. It's Hubbard. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's got room. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That good for 19 and a 1st down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
They're a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. To throw is Murray. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Lions will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. But all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
Tackled by the corner, C.J. Henderson. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 6 yards left on 2nd down. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. And quickly, he just gets that ball out of there.
Not quite sure what he was doing, and here comes the flag. So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Shotgun now from Murray. Escaping the pressure right.
He gets this one to Hubbard, complete.
Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
Back to throw it. Murray. Eluding the pressure right. For Marshall, that's complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense